Evidently, we made a mistake at some point.
Bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
Evidently, we made a mistake at some point.
Poison on my blade. Let's go!
Evidently, we made a mistake at some point.
Poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can wall this fight.
Evidently, we made a mistake at some point.
Bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
Evidently, we made a mistake at some point.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if...
Something's appeared over there. It seems as if it's some type of altar. Looks like an altar. The stones! That must be where we need to pour the potion. I just need to get my hands on it.
What do you want, strange strain?
How do you play the drums?
Oh, that's easy. You need only respect the natural order for the earth to hear you. A predator, a prey. The cycle.
That's...
Come now, come now. You must first make the snake rattle, unless it is first to be the insect. Alas, time devours all memories. I do remember one thing, though.
I'm listening.
Each drum must only be played one time, and only once. But you're still here. What do you want again?
I found this note. It speaks of a ritual, but it is incomplete. Do you know anything else about it?
A ritual? Yes, there is a ritual for the impatient. For me, it serves no purpose. I am here. I wait.
But for me, it would be useful. Can you help me?
There must have her reasons. The folly of youth. Do you see those drums over there? They awaken the earth as long as you play them correctly.
They will awaken the earth.
Oh, and that's not all. Once the earth is awakened, the stone will appear that must be quenched.
Quench a stone.
But you're still here. What do you want again?
Quench a stone? What does that mean?
Water trickles on the stone and returns to us, empowered by its force. But sometimes, water is not enough.
This note I found explains a recipe. A potion thought to contain the essence of this place. That's what must be poured over the stone.
Oh, yes. No doubt. But you're still here.
Nothing. I shall... What is this?
Killed! You killed her! Monsters! Murderers!
You knew her, old man? Before she became a Nadaig?
May the earth swallow you whole! You and those from their dark oil! They must all be destroyed! But Enolmil Frictimen will stop them! He will chase you all away! Murderers! His hunt has begun!
Calm down. We didn't have a choice. We were only defending ourselves.
Shiora, what is he talking about? Why is he so furious, and who is Enon Mil Frictaman?
I believe he is furious because he knew the Nadaig before she bonded. He mourns her in this way. It was a Donegad who received very much power, and who traded herself completely.
Are you saying that that creature was once a woman?
Yes, like you and me. Anyone who draws upon the power of the earth becomes one of their faces in exchange. As for your other question, Enon Mir Frichtemann means one of 1,000 faces.
It is a rather evocative name. What does it mean? A man? A myth?
Enon Mir Frichtemann. I doubt that you can understand.
But enough to think that this being wants us harmed? Perhaps it's the source of the Malachor.
And why is that? Why would the source of your sickness come from here?
I don't know, Siora. But didn't this man just say that this being would hunt us down? We need to learn more.
You survived. Which must mean, alas, that one of the Nadaig is with us no longer. You are a great warrior. You could almost be a storm warrior. What do you seek?
You set a trap for us, invoking and releasing that creature.
It is true. And the Nadaig is indeed one of the faces. A spirit of the Isle. I was hoping that you would disappear. The swamps do not like to give back those who enter. You have seen things that no stranger to our clan has ever seen. Secrets that no one must know. But you survived. You are strong. I should not have thought you so weak.
The ritual. This is how you prepare the blood sap.
What are you talking about, Siora?
No one knows the recipe. But it is the very barm that allows her warriors to enter into a trance, and to rise again when they have fallen.
It is true. You do not know the ingredients, but you know now how the blessing works. I have nothing more to give you than my excuses, and that you keep to yourself all that you have seen. You are a brave Onol Manawi, and I would like to request your help.
You request my help after sending me on a suicide mission?
You helped us to find the camp of the Soul Lasser, and you have proven your valor fighting the Nadaig. So yes, I am asking for your help in saving the people who are suffering in this camp.
What do you intend to do exactly?
Attack and destroy this camp, and those who live in it, to set my people free.
And how am I supposed to help you?
My clan is powerful, but so are these Soul Lasser. I need more warriors. Eseld of the Gaius Rad is in my debt, but I'm afraid she might refuse to honor it after her clan was defeated. You know how to talk to people, and you are friends with her twin sister. I would like you to go and convince her to help me.
I suppose I could try at least.
That would be good. It would also be good if you could fight alongside us to set these prisoners free. Meet us near the camp with the forces you managed to assemble.
I think we should inform the Mother Cardinal of the Ordo Luminis's actions. If we don't, she could take offense at an intervention of the congregation without consulting her first.
Siora, Asir. Always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Deirdre requested that I ask for your clan's help. She intends to attack a camp of the Ordo Luminis to set free their prisoners.
The Ordo Luminis?
It's the name of the Inquisition. The Red Suns, if you prefer.
The Sol Lasser. I see. What have they done this time?
They're still trying to convert your people by force. Those who do not accept the Enlightened are taken to this camp where they are tortured and killed if they keep resisting. Deirdre needs more warriors for this attack.
The Gaius Rad have been deeply weakened by our defeat against the Lions.
Deirdre told me that you were in her debt.
I am, but she's asking a lot more than what we owe. Our clan might not survive this battle.
Do you remember why your mother wanted to fight against the Alliance? Was it because some strangers were abducting your people?
You're right. And even though we lost this battle and it left us weakened and without a queen, she wouldn't want us to stay idle and await the death of our people. I will gather my warriors and talk to them. Did you want anything else?
Could you tell me about Siora?
You are right there and you let him talk about you like this? A seer? That's a strange friend you have there. Perhaps I wanted to hear how you'd reply. Perhaps, but I don't like this. Did you want anything else?
Thanks. Goodbye, Aseld.
Gaius Rad, Deirdre and her Sengedin Anadas will fight against the Sol Lasser, who torture and kill our brothers. She's asking us to fight alongside her, to set our people free and stop these monsters. Shall we rise to her call?
Our spears will rise in defense of our people.
Then it is done. Let's raise our spears and leave for battle. You can leave with a peaceful mind. My warriors will fight alongside yours and Deirdre's. We will meet near the camp of the Sol Lasser.
There you are. And I see that you have brought the guy's rad with you.
We could not let the Senged Anadas take all the glory.
I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Ezeld, daughter of Bladnid.
Our objective is located beyond this cliff. The Inquisitors are not expecting us. We have the element of surprise. Let's make good use of it.
We will be as discreet as a group of Dosentats. They won't hear us coming.
Let's find a vantage point to get a better overview of this fort.
So, this is the place where my people are being tortured. I hope we're not arriving too late.
Most of their troops seem to be outside, as if they sense we are coming. The prisoners are most likely inside, in some basement perhaps. And it seems as if there are some in the right wing as well.
In that case, the toughest fights will take place outside. That is where I want to be.
We must strike quickly if we want to make good use of the element of surprise.
Have you thought about how you'd want us to conduct this assault?
We are behind the camp where there are fewer guards. Getting inside will prove less troublesome from this side. We will conduct 2 near-simultaneous assaults. The first larger group will attack from the front to cause chaos in the enemy ranks. As for me, my companions and I will get inside the building from the back and sneak into the basement. We will set as many prisoners free as we can and use the opportunity to search the building. Once you have eliminated the troops in front of the building, focus on the right wing.
Good. This way we'll attack them from 2 sides simultaneously.
We will conduct the first assault, and then we will go back to intercept the ones who run away.
Excellent idea. Are you ready for the assault?
When it comes to setting our brother free, we are always ready.
In that case, conduct the assault as soon as you're in position.
A bit of poison on my blade.
Quick! Let's hurry and reach the prisoners before the Inquisitors kill them all.
A bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
Close to Issa,
We intervened quickly, thankfully. Let's find the keys to these cells. I don't have the key. Wait here for now. We're still fighting outside.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if... A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
I think that was the last of the Inquisitors. The fort is safe now. We're done here. Let's lend a hand to our allies outside, as there are still some prisoners there.
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
Close to ista Richtnestiri.
poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Awful. These prisoners have been dead for days. There's no one left to set free. Let's get out of here. How did the battle go for you?
We prevailed. Your plan was good on Olmonawi.
Congratulations. And we were able to set the prisoners free. They were completely exhausted, but alive.
Do not worry. We will bring them back to Vedluk, so their wounds can be treated. You have shown bravery and righteousness. I will not forget it. I hope to see you in the village again soon.
Your Eminence, I salute you.
Sir de Sardet, what can I do for you?
I have come to inform you of the crimes committed by the Inquisition on these lands. The Ordo Luminous captured and tortured many islanders in a secret camp in order to convert them. Most of them were executed because they refused to renounce their beliefs. Of course, I put an end to all this at the demand of Queen Deirdre, and the camp was dismantled.
How could such villainous acts take place without anyone informing me of them? Do you have proof of what you're saying?
Indeed. Here. This should convince you of my good faith.
I cannot believe it. May the enlightened devour these wicked fools. I cannot believe the Inquisition would continue their exactions after what happened to them the first time. But Your Excellency, it seems to me as if you have overstepped the boundaries. You could have informed me of the situation, but you chose to fight priests of Thélème instead. Are you trying to break the alliance between your nation and ours?
Your Eminence, I intervened at the demand of the natives, who are our allies as well, and would have come to inform you of the situation if I hadn't thought you might give more credit to the Inquisition than to these poor people.
You should have let me be the judge of that, Your Excellency. You underestimated us.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Mateus.
This man is burning up with fever and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows. The flesh is swollen around the bites. Perhaps the creature that bit him was venomous. Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Onol Manawi, you've come back to see old Lair. I heard that you managed to retrieve the tablets.
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alive, and that they will be able to join another clan. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renaigse is possible.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegat is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Here you are again. What do you want?
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegat.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who are at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now. I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
The researchers must have cleared this passage. If we follow it, we should find him.
It looks like we're right on time. If we do not intervene, they are sure to gut each other.
Me? At least I don't allow myself to believe.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrive right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil,
What do you want?
can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. There was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well. I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
No. Look, it may be what someone wanted it to look like, but his wound was inflicted with a weapon. He was struck in the back of the head, from behind, with a mace made of metal, not stone.
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
No. Look, it may be what someone wanted it to look like, but his wound was inflicted with a weapon. He was struck in the back of the head, from behind, with a mace made of metal, not stone.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint! Let's see if you can ward off this feint! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint.
This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals. Even so, this wound looks different from the others. It looks like a knife wound.
You're right. He was stabbed before being fed to the animals. But anyone could have used such a blade.
bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
These fang marks are impressive. The poor man didn't have a chance. He must have been attacked by a large reptile. Most likely a Llewellyn. But what was he doing alone so far from camp? It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy. A dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues?
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. You will take your belongings and leave this place. The research will continue, and their discoveries will be studied by wiser people than you. The decision to reveal them or not will be theirs.
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden. I hope that you don't regret your decision.
Alas, I have found the dead bodies of your colleagues.
How horrible! But how? Oh, perhaps I should have listened to Brother Virgil.
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these deaths. He was hoping to blame the natives for them and discredit you.
What? But why would he? He will have to answer for his crimes.
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, I sent him back to Eden. If you want him to face judgment, you will have to report what happened to the Mother Cardinal.
You are right. As soon as we get back to civilization, I will make sure that she hears about it. Once more, your help has been a blessing. Take this. Alas, we will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! We should rummage through this area. If someone lived here, it must have been in a drier place.
Watch out, Anadai!
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint!
Nestiri!
Let's see if you can ward off this feint!
Look at this cave. It is a good place for an old man to settle.
Some people have lived here, but we will have to look further if we will find this. A bit of poison on my blade, and let's go! My blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint! Bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
This is a cave of knowledge, or at least it looks like one. The old man must have been exceptional to be able to live in such a place.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago, and it undeniably comes from the continent. I seem to recall that Saint Matthias is almost always depicted using a similar rosary. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
Oh, I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada.
There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, Enon Miel Frictimen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people, Enon Miel Frictimen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him.
So that's what it was. The priest's old sage became a Donegad. I don't think that they'll be happy about that. And yet, it could bring peace. The Solacer will no longer be able to burn our people and our guardians.
Why is he not depicted wearing the marks of the Donegada?
It was a very long time ago. Magic had not yet been given to us by Enon Miel Frictimen.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Thélème.
I know how difficult keeping some secrets can be, and this one is huge. It could lead to peace with the natives, as much as it could lead to a civil war.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On the other, he prayed to a god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the Islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look. There are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
Someone from the mainland had probably lived there, but they must have died quickly. Unfortunately, though, I have found no irrefutable proof of St. Matthias's presence.
What a shame. And you did not find a grave?
No, and I searched well. He must have been buried elsewhere.
It's strange. So far, we have always found traces of his journey. I would have loved to have been there with you, to be able to realize it for myself.
It would not have been a good idea. The area is very dangerous, teeming with creatures.
Excuse me. I should be more grateful to you. You took a big risk. It's just disappointing. I think we should pack our things and return to Eden. Perhaps I can convince my colleagues to organize another, better armed expedition.
Goodbye, sister.
Your Excellency, have you come to mock the future convict? Or do you fear that I will kill someone else?
You committed terrible crimes and you wanted to manipulate me. But your motivations were not meaningless, especially in light of what we finally discovered.
Would you admit that I was right?
In a manner of speaking, yes. I continued my research in the swamp at the request of Sister Eugenia, and I discovered a cave in which St. Matthias had lived in the company of the islanders. There were frescoes and relics at the site, which clearly indicated that your founder had converted to the cult of the natives. I brought back some of the objects I found there. Look.
Incredible. This is his pewter tablet. But these tablets, they are terribly disturbing. Do you realize the impact these discoveries will have? Is Eugenia aware of this?
No. I told her I hadn't found anything. I thought that such revelations would bring more harm than good.
You cannot imagine how much. It would no doubt mean civil war, and for what? The wanderings of an old man who probably became senile. This is heartbreaking, Your Excellency. But you did the right thing. I'm going to destroy these objects. And I'll have to ask you for one last service. The cave must also be eradicated. Sister Eugenia will very likely want to return there.
You're right. Especially as she didn't seem totally convinced by my lie. I will take care of it.
Excellent. I am eternally grateful to you. Destroy the cave, and join me in San Matthias. I need your help to convince the Mother Cardinal to stop the search.
You can count on me.